breakfast. Now, today, the 17th of July, is the deadline for political parties to tender in their running mates for their presidential candidates. For the People's Democratic Party, the presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has announced Governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, as his running mate. He says the Delta State governor has qualities that qualify him to be president, and he will add excitement to an already energized ticket and campaign. But let's delve into the discussion now. We have joining us in the studio lawyer, political analyst Fred Nzako to help us make sense of all of this. Fred, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Mike.
Great. When Okowa was unveiled, some people were, oh, is he Okowa? Others were like, okay, that's a good one. What side of that perspective did you fall into?
Mike, first I want to congratulate Okowa for having been nominated as the running mate of Turaki, Atiku Abubakar. I want to also congratulate Turaki for making a very quick decision and a very credible one for that matter, because it shows a man who is ready and willing to lead Nigeria, who can take hard and prompt decisions and get accurate results. I want to also congratulate PDP as a political party for taking a lead. Of course, PDP does not vacillate. You recall that PDP was one of the first parties to conclude their presidential primaries, even while other parties were pushing INEC to adjust the date. Now PDP has taken another lead to have decided their presidential vice candidacy, even while other parties are using dummies, to stand in the gap. I can tell you that PDP has shown very strong strengths and readiness to lead Nigeria come 2023. And what you asked me about whether how I feel about the nomination of Ifeanyi Okowa, I can tell you that just most Nigerians and observers of Nigerian politics, I feel so excited. I feel so good that Atiku Abubakar has been able to make a very good choice. And I'll tell you reasons as we go on. It's a choice that is unassailable, irrespective of whatever anybody can think about. And whether you want to decapitate the integrity and the personality of Okowa or not does not matter, because every politician, every human being, especially politician, has enemies, quote and unquote, seen and unseen, and opponents, quote and unquote, seen and unseen. So you don't expect everybody to be very happy. But what is important is that, has this choice been made? Yes. Is it credible? Yes. Is it going to deliver results? Yes. And then come May 29, 2023, who are you going to see on the podium taking the oath? Atiku Abubakar on one side, Ifeanyi Okowa on the other side, and the rest of Nigerians will be waiting for a new restoration. Right. It's a 3R that we are going to see come 2023.
It's all right. It's quite interesting
It's quite interesting that you are talking very glowingly about Ifeanyi Okowa. But people have said Ifeanyi Okowa is a two-side traitor. He was the one that hosted governors from the South to say, we will not have any president other than a Southern president. He was the host. All governors came there from the South.
Yes.
And he is the one bowing to a Northern president. How do you explain that?
You call it bowing?
Number two, he's bowing, he's become vice president too.
You call it
the Northern president, after hosting governors to say no to it. Two, he's also said to be a traitor to his political leader, James Ibori, because he actually picked a candidate to fight his man and also even somebody to fight his daughter. That's all of this.
At this point in Nigerian development, we cannot be pedestrian. We can't be talking about corner issues when we are talking Nigerian issues. Nigeria is at a crossroad.
Answer the first one. There are two-side question.
Nigeria is at a terrible crossroad, and we need to pull this country out of the doldrum. The issue of whether he's a traitor or not, that is very pedestrian, because who is a traitor?
It's a moral issue.
Who is a traitor and who is not a traitor?
Issue.
The issue of whether the PDP governors or the Southern governors said president must come from Southern Nigeria. Yeah. Politics is dynamic, and I can tell you that it is not what you see in the morning that you see in the afternoon. And the dynamism of politics requires that at each point in time, eye on the ball. What is that ball? Nigerian interest. You cannot say because Atiku Abubakar has emerged, therefore Nigeria must scatter. I'm coming. You can't say so, therefore Nigeria must scatter, because if you say so, you are being ultra selfish. What is important is we are balancing power between North and South, all right? And now we are also balancing power not on tribal sentiments, but on the sentiments of geopolitical zones. Atiku Abubakar is from the Northeast. And even as we speak, so many people will tell you that the emergence of Atiku Abubakar has even cleaned up some of the organ staple of inclusion that we have in Nigerian politics. Northeast has not produced a president of Nigerian extraction, at least in this dispensation. Southeast has not. So people are now expecting that it is either Northeast or it is Southeast. Today it is done of Northeast. Kudos to them. And then they have produced for Nigeria an excellent man that will lead us out of the woods. I'm coming. Now, the next tomorrow, it will be the turn of the Southeast. That is what Ostechudokas and that is what many people are talking about. So, if you now begin to say, oh, Atiku Abubakar is coming,
don't rewrite.
We are not talking about president of Northeast or of Northeast.
Let me talk.
President of Nigeria.
Let me talk now. Don't rewrite.
And it is an excellent one.
Don't rewrite history. Don't rewrite history. Okowa hosted people to say it was the turn of the South. We're not talking of South, East, North, East now. That's why they gathered together. Will he explain to Nigerians why he reneged on that sacred oath? You are talking of policy dynamic.
You call it oath?
That what you say in the morning is not what you say in the evening.
You call it
that
oath?
itself is called falsehood. That is called lying. That is called being a traitor. That is being unfaithful.
Sam,
is that not what he has done?
You are being very pedestrian in this matter. I'm sorry to say so.
Yeah, Fred, but the point
because we're talking about Nigerian interests.
What's Nigerian interest?
I will tell you so.
Nigerian interest they held a meeting for was that the thing should come south.
It is politics. It is all politics.
Let's
when you say it must come south, the North are saying let it remain in the North. Let us move to the Northeast. Now the challenge is coming. All right. Why did APC, for example, I use that as an example. Why did APC, for example, move their own to the South? Because the current president is from the North. Right? So
it's a Nigerian decision.
Look.
It's a Nigerian decision.
Oh, now it's Nigerian decision. No, now it's Nigerian decision.
Because even the southern governors in your party, the southern governors in your party, that's the PDP.
Yes.
All of them agreed, including Wike. And Wike, after he lost the primaries, was very angry because he felt that his own brother governors in the South let him down because there was a pact. Okowa is part of the band of traitors in the party.
That's what he said. You felt he was unhappy. Did he call you to tell you that he was unhappy?
Who?
Wike.
Wike said it in public. He didn't need to tell me that. Everybody saw, unless you didn't see the post. That was angry that his brother governors.
It is
betrayed him.
In politics, it is natural that when you angle for something and you don't get it, you have temporary anger. Oshibajo was very angry when he lost.
Are you smart now to say that he has not congratulated? He was
very angry.
Wike has not congratulated Okowa. The last time I checked.
President Wike was extremely angry when he lost to Tinubu. It is natural. When you lose, if you lose to your son or your wife or to a member of your family, temporarily there will be anger. Later on,
there are ways you express the anger.
Anger will settle down.
There are ways you express the anger.
You did not shoot anybody, and nobody was shot.
There are ways you express the anger.
Anyhow you express it, the important thing is that you express an anger, and then the anger will die down. It is natural.
But he has not congratulated him.
It is human. Leave that one. If he has done so, he will not tell you. And
if he has done so, we know in public.
Sam, you don't know everything. He might congratulate.
We know what he said in public.
Jonathan called Buhari to congratulate him in 2015. Did he tell you?
We saw it.
Later.
We saw it.
Later.
Not long after.
You see it.
Not long after.
You see this one.
All right.
You see this one.
Okay. Let's not take our eyes from the ball. Of course, this is quite interesting, looking at things from other perspectives.
Yes.
But however, that's the question of Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa hosting Southern governors is very significant. And the issue of the dynamics of politics is also significant. In fact, that is the reality, of how things are.
Yeah.
But I'd like you to let us know at what point did that vision change? And now the South is saying, okay, let us agree for the candidate to come from anywhere else, even if it's not the South.
At the point the Southern governors...
Just a minute. Let me allow you to answer that after this break. Let's go on a short break. You're watching TVC Breakfast. We are looking at some of the issues emanating from politics in there. The issue of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa hosting all governors, Southern governors, and saying that let us all agree that the candidacy of the presidential candidate of their party should come to the South. You certainly made a point earlier saying that, of course, politics is dynamic. But at what point did that dynamism impact the agreement to say, okay, let us keep it open. It can come from anywhere.
Nigeria is made up of North and South. Of course, you know this. And in politics, everybody is angling for position. That is the crux of the matter. And while you're asking for this, the other person is asking for that. The Southern governors met. The Northern governors also met. While the Southern governors will be asking for their own, Northern governors will also be asking for their own. And then while the Southern electorates will be asking for their own, Northern electorates will be asking for their own. Like I always say, the important thing is that the Nigerian project is not allowed to die, so that Nigeria will remain one indivisible united country. And if the Southern governors themselves said power has to come to the South, and the North said, no, Northeast has not tested power. So when you're talking about South, which South are you talking about? Southwest has tested power both as president and as vice. South has tested power both as president and as vice. The only South that is left is Southeast. Now, the Northern governors are saying power has to remain in the North, but not in Northwest, it's either in North Central or in the Northeast, because Northwest has tested power both as president and vice. Northeast has not, North Central has not. And you now begin to look at the dynamics, because you must include everybody. The concept of inclusion is very important in democracy. And if you sidetrack that, then you no longer practicing democracy, right? So in trying to include everybody, you consider the feelings of the Northeast and feelings of the North Central. You consider the feelings of the Southeast as well. Now, two zones in the North are saying, remember us. One zone in the South is saying, remember us. The PDP had to balance between North and South. And they now looked at it. Okay, between North and South, let us look at Northeast, and let us look at North Central, and let us look at Southeast as well. In looking at these three, we are now looking at who in these three zones will be able to, can we present to Nigeria? Because don't forget that these are politicians doing their thing. When you finish, you come back to the people in the general election. PDP, in their own wisdom, and said, let us present His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, a man of robust knowledge, experience, and capacity to lead this country come May 29, 2023. And that is an unassailable decision. So, if the PDP of the South, the Southern governors, or rather the Southern governors themselves, feel, oh, this is not a bad choice, then they will throw in the towel. At the same time, looking at the ball. And what is that ball, like I said? Nigerian project. So I think at any point when there is this drag of what comes to me and what goes to you, and then you look at justice, equity, and fairness, and the capacity, and you have taken a decision, and that decision is an excellent one, why would you not go with it?
Now, let me ask you one question that just occurred to me.
Yes.
Is it not an act of hypocrisy by Atiku Abubakar when he was running for president to say everything should be left open? In other words, it doesn't matter, we can pick anybody to be president, it doesn't have to be by where you come from and so on. And when it comes to picking a vice president, he now wants to zone it. Is it not hypocrisy? He should have just picked one from Fulani or from Jos or anything. Why did he have to zone the vice president and not zone the president?
Oh, sir, let me see.
Is that not hypocrisy?
Why would APC pick their candidate from the Southwest? Is there no person in the Northwest?
No. APC said they were bringing it to the south. For most part, they were bringing it to the south.
Why didn't they go to south?
That's why the south.
Why did they not
south will decide.
Why did not go to the
south will now decide.
Even when one of the leaders,
the south will now decide who will win it.
Even when one of the leaders, Dr. Bonayon, gave a historical lamentation on the podium. Yet APC went to the south.
You don't lament in politics.
You don't lament in politics. What do? You
fight. You coalesce. You make engagement. That's what you do in politics. You don't lament.
What happens to the Nigerian project?
The Nigerian project is about building alliances. Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah,
it's about building alliances.
What happens to
building? It's not about coming to a podium and complain.
What happens to politics?
You know what Ogbonaya did? Let me finish. You know what
I'm talking about.
You know what Ogbonaya did?
All right.
Ogbonaya came to the podium.
Yes.
To indict himself. It was an APC henchman.
Yes.
And he was saying that the East was not given the thing to do. He did not say, I, as a leader with Okorocha, with Ngige and all of that, were not able to bring the East into the party. How do you want the party now to give you a place there? So politics is about coalition of interest, is about engagement.
I'm happy you're the one saying this.
Yes.
I'm very happy you're the one saying it, that there's a whole lot of indictment within the APC. But that's not what we are here for now. When the time comes, when the fireworks of campaign comes, then we'll now begin to throw the deaths and the water, both clean and unclean. All the issues will begin to come out. There are so many issues that will come out from the closet of the APC, which is stinking closet. But I tell you that the challenge before your party today is to decide.
It's not my party.
Oh, it's your party.
Not my party.
It's your party. It's to decide.
No, we're journalists.
Don't deny them now. Don't deny them now.
No.
Don't deny them now.
I'm just a fair man. I just say what is right.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, the challenge before the party that you have at your heart, the APC.
Both parties are in my heart.
The party at your heart.
It's the Nigerian project.
They can't be in my heart. You have no capacity to enter into my heart.
Don't cut me short.
The only person who has the capacity to enter into my heart is my wife.
Thank you. APC has replaced that your wife in your heart. Give us a credible vice presidential candidate and not a dummy. Today is the deadline. APC is known for vacillating. It took you 7 to 9 months to give us ministers in 2015. It is taking you ages. You are making things difficult for INEC. You force INEC to adjust the date for the primaries of the presidential. Now you want to force INEC again to adjust the date of submission of the names of the candidates. APC should know.
You have no evidence. Today is the deadline. They have not reached the deadline. The fact that you know the meaning of a dummy. You know the meaning of a dummy. You play soccer. You play soccer. Do you? I used to play soccer. I was very good at it.
Yeah.
I used to sell a lot of dummy. I'll tell the defender I'm going there and I go this way. So that's what they did. They sold a dummy. When I see that, I was better than Maradona in my day.
Okay.
So I just didn't want to get professional. I think
Sam.
I was like Haruna Elerika
on a very serious note, you have a lot of tasks in your hand, and Nigerians are becoming exasperated.
Exasperated by what?
With your waiting game and your and your indecision. We are going to see. We are going to see.
We have not reached the deadline yet.
We are going to see. You and I know.
The other question I really want you to answer is this: Okowa had a loan. Has secured a loan of 150 billion naira. And some people are saying that money was part of the money was also to create himself in a position to buy the vice presidential slot.
And you believe?
No. It's a speculation out there because it is actually.
As a senior journalist, why do you dwell on speculation?
It is controversial.
What effort have you made to go to Delta to find out?
No. Delta people are saying
what the loan is for?
The Delta people are saying
Delta people in APC.
Don't forget that. In the country, in the state, sorry. Delta people in the state, whether APC or PDP.
Is it from the mouth of Okowa and the like?
The citizens
who want to take over as governor?
But answer that question.
No, but
150 billion on the cusp of your living office.
At this level that I have attained in life, I do not pander to speculations. I don't. And
but do you think that it should be investigated? The money should be followed.
Of course,
the money should be followed.
As of today, Lagos State government is owing over 400 billion.
It's your capacity that
No, I'm coming. It's owing over 400 billion. I do not have quarrel with that because there is a reason why the state must be owing that amount of money. So if Delta State decided, don't forget that it's an oil derivative state. If Delta State decided to jumpstart some projects and they have taken loan, you are quarrel with it. How much is federal government owing as of today? The debt profile of Nigeria under the APC.
You don't answer.
No, I'm coming.
You don't. No,
I'm trying to give you a reason. You want to
answer why somebody
you want to listen to side talks without.
No.
As a journalist, you say you
don't answer the question of why a child urinated on the bed by saying that another child urinated on the bed. Address the issue of the child that urinated on the bed. So don't change the trajectory of the discussion. Address the issue. Should that money be monitored? That's what I'm asking for.
Should the money every loan, including that from federal government and Lagos State government and all states, should be monitored. And of course, it goes without saying that every loan is being monitored. And then if you now sit down and say the loan was taken for election, then you are only listening to the man that just walked out.
So that's the concern. That's the concern of citizens in the state.
We are not talking Biafra now. We are talking,
that's the concern of
talking very serious issues in state and national development.
Yeah, well, the point there is, as journalists, when we hear what people are saying, we ask questions for people to bring dynamics to it, and then also bring depth to it, and also look at the implications, if at all. And if it is that loans were collected, but they were for projects, of course, that is possible.
Of course, loans have been collected. Loans have been collected for party.
Yes, but however, there are comments here and there. That's why he was asking. But we have to leave it here because we don't have time anymore. It was a good time, talking to Fred. We'll bring you back here to discuss more on this issue as we get.